Hey everyone, it's Story here, and welcome to another video. As you probably can tell from the title, this is another Tipsy Tales. And this one is on Mass Effect, one of my personal favorite games. And thank you to those that voted on Twitter on the poll of what topic I would cover next in a Tipsy Tales video. For those who don't know, Tipsy Tales is me getting tipsy and telling tales. So I'm gonna go get tipsy, and I'll be right back. I have no idea if this lipstick is gonna last me through drinking. I felt it was only appropriate that I drink out of my Vortex cup. I don't know, can you see it? There we go. If you don't know what the Vortex is, Google it. It has to do with Mass Effect. My lipstick made it through the drinking part. So Mass Effect. It is the first of the Mass Effect franchise, and it was originally released for the Xbox 360 in 2007 by EA and BioWare. They're the same group that does Dragon Age franchise. FYI. The reason that my makeup and my vibe is so futuristic is because Mass Effect is set in the future. It's set in 2183 in space, and it's in the Milky Way galaxy. Interstellar travel is a thing in this universe, and it's done through these checkpoint type things, like satellite things, and they're called mass relays, and nobody knows where they came from. They just kind of were there. They didn't really question it too much, which I can't really blame them for, because I think I would. I mean, it's space travel, so I don't know if I would question it too much if I was approached with that sort of decision. So a large portion of this galaxy is ruled by the Citadel Council. And I'm going to refer to them as just the Council because, I mean, that's what the game does. The Citadel Council just sounds really pretentious, and I don't know. Like, if someone came up to me and said, the Citadel, or the Council made this big decision about the world, I'm not going to question what council, because there's only one council that can make that, the Citadel Council. But anyway, they're basically like the UN for space. So there are 4 main races that you deal with within this Mass Effect game. You have the humans, Asari, Solarian, and Taurians. One from each race actually has an ambassador on the council. There are other races, and you see and interact with some of them, but they're not as important or privileged, apparently. The main combat enemy of this game are called the Geth, and they're sort of a race of AI beings, and they're all networked together, so they kind of have this weird hive mind thing, which you actually explore later on in the games, but whatever. First game, focusing. The protagonist that you play as within this game is known as Commander Shepard, and there are 3 different backgrounds that you can choose from. The first one is Spacer, which is basically your parents are part of the space military and you move around a lot, and then eventually when you become of age you enlist. The second one is Earthborn, which means obviously you were born on Earth, but you were raised on the streets, and in order to escape gang and life of petty crime, you enlist in the Alliance, which is the military. Or thirdly, you could be a colonist, which means you were born and raised in Mindor, which is a space colony, meaning it's like a colony on a different planet. And at the age of 16, slavers come and invade and kill your family and friends. So, good times. The Alliance happens to pass by, and they save you, and when you become of age, you also enlist. So each background has their own side mission quest thing that you can go on. And you can also pick a psych profile for Commander Shepard. However, I'm not going to go through that because this is a plot summary, not a game review. So regardless of your chosen background, Shepard graduates from the System Alliance, aka Space Military, Special Forces, and they're basically the equivalent of a Marine. And Shepard is also a major candidate for becoming the first Spectre, which means, Special Tactics and Reconnaissance. That's what it means. Basically, they can do whatever they want. They have a lot of rights to just kind of do whatever they want, like the CIA or NSA. So now that we have gotten through the introduction part, let us move on to the actual story and what happens with Commander Shepard. So we begin with fellow Alliance Marine Caden Alenko. He is my personal fave. And we end up on Eden Prime, which is is it a colony? I think it's a colony, space colony. And they find this Prothean beacon. And the Protheans are considered like the beginning race of space. And they're kind of like the Mayans or the ancient Greeks. We save this Alliance soldier, Ashley Williams, who then decides to join the crew because all of her friends are dead. Good times. And while we're there, a Turian specter named Saren actually activates this beacon. And so Shepard like reaches out and tries to touch this beacon and gets all these like crazy visions of like death and destruction and then passes out. And then after Shepard wakes up, turns out the SSV Normandy, which is the ship that they're on, is summoned by the Council to go to the Citadel. And now you see why I name it the Council and not the Citadel Council, because then I have to talk about the place, the Citadel, and it would just get really confusing, and I would confuse myself because I've been drinking a lot. So Shepard goes in front of the Council and tries to convince them that Saren has betrayed them. However, there's not enough substantial evidence, and they're very typical politicians, and they're like, LOL. No, shut up. So Shepard needs to find solid evidence that Saren has betrayed to the Council. And you kind of go on a detective mission for a while. And you happen upon some companions. So you meet a Turian Citadel security officer, Garrus. There's a Krogan mercenary, Rex. And a Quarian mechanic, Tali. And they all join your crew. And they're all companions that you can bring along on your missions. So long story short, Saren and this rich bitch, Benezia, are recorded talking about something called the Conduit and these beings called the Reapers who are going to come back. And the Reapers actually are this myth that are believed to eradicate organic civilizations every 50,000 years. You know, casual dinner talk, if you will. So the recording was enough evidence for the Council to take away Saren's title and powers and all that stuff. And then Shepard becomes the first human Spectre. Yay! We also get control of the Normandy, which is pretty cool. Now with all this celebration, unfortunately, Saren and the bad people are still out there. No rest for the wicked, they say. So we rescue Benezia's daughter, Liara, who is awesome and super into the Protheans and archaeology and that kind of thing. And she decides to come along with us. Hashtag road trip. While fighting Saren, you find out that his ship, Sovereign, actually has mind control powers, which is crazy, even for space-time future thing. Like, it's wild, completely out there. Eventually, you defeat Benezia, who admits that her and Saren were indoctrinated by Sovereign, which basically just means mind control. It's just a fancy, pretty much creepier version than mind controlled. So eventually the Council becomes useful, and they let Shepard know that they've located Saren's main base. And when you're there, you find out that Saren wants to breed an unstoppable army of Krogans. And by the way, Krogans are really amazing fighters. They're the warriors. They're the tanks of the group. Like me in my friend group with alcohol, the tank. So he plans to do this by curing the genophage, which is like this genetic Krogan disease that was placed upon them by Solarians, where they can't reproduce. Pretty actually depressing. I want to drink to them. To the Krogans. So Shepard blows up the base and ends up confronted by Sovereign. It confronts Shepard, but it's a ship. And plot twist time! Sovereign is a Reaper. I don't know if you saw that coming, but personally I didn't at the time when I was playing this game. So begin the long villain monologue. Just kidding, we're gonna make this quick. The Reapers are chilling outside the Milky Way galaxy, and they wait for organic life to prosper and reach the peak, quote unquote, of their, I don't know, success, growth, whatever. And then they harvest this organic life, like their crops, in Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley. Anywho, off Sovereign goes to do his Reaper duty. I don't know, whatever Reapers tend to do when they're not attacking and killing and destroying things. Some of the game and the relationships within the game of Mass Effect are based off of choices that you make. And one of these harder decisions is now. And you have to decide, are you going to save Kaidan or Ashley? And it's really, really hard. And you have to live with the decision that you make for the rest of the franchise. The rest of it. All of it. So just for context, we're still at this main base, and we finally get to Saren, and we're fighting him, and he actually reveals that he believes that by helping Sovereign and the Reapers, he is proving the worth of organic life, and kind of saying, hey, don't kill us. What a fucking idiot. So moving on, we find out that the Citadel is actually a mass relay. Who knew that? Well, if you happen to guess the Reapers, ding ding ding, you would be correct. They actually use the Citadel mass relay as a way to enter the galaxy. In the last cycle of extinction, some Protheans actually survived, and they created the conduit, which, if you remember, is an important thing that I talked about earlier. And it's actually the statue in the Citadel, and it keeps the Reapers from connecting with the mass relay to come in. No showing up uninvited to the party for the Reapers. Now, Saren happened to find this out, and so he goes to the Citadel to try and fix it and help Sovereign activate this relay so that his bros can come in. So you confront Saren now at the Citadel, and you have two choices. One, you can kill him immediately upon seeing him, or two, you can try and convince him to rebel against the Reapers, but then he ends up killing himself. So either way, Saren's gone. And now you have some more options. So many options! Shepard can tell the Alliance to do one of two things. You can save the Council, which will mean a lot of casualties and danger, or you can abandon the Council in order to have the Alliance attack Sovereign. Either way, Sovereign has Saren's corpse, and it attacks you, and it's really weird and creepy, and I'm not about that life. Or not life. Too soon? In the end, humanity wins, Sovereign is dead, humans get to join the Council, and at the end, Shepard is like, peace out, I'm gonna go try and stop these Reapers. The end. And that is Mass Effect 1. That is the first game of the Mass Effect franchise. I hope you enjoyed this Tipsy Tales as much as I clearly did. I will probably end up doing another poll thing on Twitter because it was fun. It was fun. It was cool to have input on what people wanted to see. I feel completely alive for the first time all week. And be sure to hit that subscribe button because I put up videos every weekend. My name is Story. Thank you for watching, and keep on shining, storytellers.